All right. Let's do that. Welcome to the WTH Show, where we explore customer experiences gone wrong and the few that got it right. Still working on those few. But anyway, I think we got a real good show for you today. And here's why. Following up on last week, or I should say last Sunday's show of DRhorton, that was all about a subdivision or a community, neighborhood, whatever you like to call it, outside of Charleston, South Carolina, with all kinds of problems. I know me, Teddy VonFeldt, knows a little bit about the tract home building. So we're going to bring you more today that, frankly, if you buy a DRhorton home, Teddy's got one, because there is unbelievable amount of feedback that we're going to go through for you on this show. With that, let's go ahead and roll the intro, because today is all about DRhorton.
All right. Let's do this. Welcome to the WTH Show. What's that mean? What the hell? Which their customer experience is going wrong? And we'll give you that get it right. We are a place to vent, get advice, get help. If we feel we can make a positive impact, to put in Horton, if you or someone you know had a problem with a business and want to be on the show, please go to WTHshow.com. We click on Start Here.
All righty, let's dive into it. Again, DRhorton, there are a zillion negative feedbacks online. Over the next couple of episodes, we're going to cover from BBB, Better Business Bureau. The next one's going to be pissconsumer.com. After that, it's consumeraffairs.com. We're going to stay focused a little bit on DRhorton and maybe the tract home builder industry for a few episodes because of how massively negative this is, and people need to know about this. So tonight's going to be about tonight, I don't know. We're on mountain time. Dan's on the eastern coast, so he's night and I'm still kind of afternoon. We're going to focus BBB, and I'm going to get started. This is feedback as of June 14th, 2024. You can read it yourself. Karen O. I'm just going to lightly read to you, then we'll comment at the end. I purchased my home in April of 2024 from DRhorton, the nightmare builder of America. From day one, I have had problems with my air conditioner, and it is still not fixed properly. My front door cannot be used because it was put on crooked and allowing air to come in, so it is all taped up. Funny, my warranty person who came out and said it was within code, so it's good to go, I guess. I guess that's their excuse to get out of fixing them. I have 7 interior doors that will not close. 2.5 weeks ago, someone came out to try to fix them and made them worse. I now have interior doors with partial framing around them, meaning they probably tore out the sheetrock and the casing, the cosmetic casing around them, and now they're looking at studs. That's a nice thing for a brand new home you just purchased in April. They said they had to be reframed and would be back. They haven't returned. I contacted my warranty person 2 times to see they were coming back to fix my doors, but they will not respond to my emails, so I'm not sure if anyone is coming back. My kitchen interior cabinet has a hole in it. My kitchen doors don't close properly and trim is missing and damaged. The caulking, that's all boring stuff. That's little stuff. Let's get on to the good meat here. This can be irritating. Some of my master bath tiles are damaged and they are filled with grout to just cover it up. Here's the meat. My lanai is pitched wrong. So I'm assuming this is in Florida. It's pitched wrong, so when it rains, all the water comes in and pools by the corner of my bedroom wall and around my lanai screen door. So there's just a big pool outside the house, sitting up against the edge of the house. That will become a water issue. These are just some of the items that concern me. I have over 30 items that I submitted to warranty. My past experience with warranty person was they would call you and say someone will contact you about this and follow up on it. this company, the warranty customer service people are either nasty or silent. I am at a loss and contemplating legal advice, as maybe that is the only way DRhorton will stand by their warranty. They really need to train their customer service people on how to talk to customers. They forget that we pay their salaries by buying their homes. I would never buy another DRhorton home again or recommend. DRhorton is based out of Dallas. It's a humongous tract home builder. They behave a whole lot like the RV industry, frankly. They just try to get you to closing and then make all these promises, and frequently they don't make the repairs. And to Dan's point, when we were off camera, it's real obvious. Posting after posting, all they do is paste their response to whatever the individual put online. Guys, and I'll say this at the end of the show again, when you're buying anything like this, please get a home inspector before closing, and do not go to closing till your original punch list is complete. I will continue to say that. I was in this industry for about a year and a half, selling homes when I was in college, and this has never changed in 20 years. All they're trying to do is get you closed and then string you along, and we're going to get into some other articles that are the same story over and over. So one last comment. There are thousands of these negative reviews online for DRhorton. All right. I'm exhausted with talking. Go ahead.
My comment I'm going to throw in that I'm seeing as a pattern is that they actually have a warranty person come out and always says it's within code. And I would challenge people to understand what the codes are that can meet that minimum level of standard and what they're willing to accept. Because those are two different things. To your point, if you don't want to close, if there's a whole bunch of things on your punch list, the last thing you want to do is close, and now it's yours and yours to deal with. Just because something is within code doesn't mean that it's right. And if you're buying a new home, things are supposed to be right. Hold them accountable to fixing it, or you simply don't accept the purchase. It's going to be your home. It's going to be what you're going to be paying for years. You don't have to accept it like that. And from what we're seeing in the articles, they're sure as hell not going to come out and make it right if they make promises. It's not going to happen. You're going to be left standing there with a house that's simply not complete. And realistically is going to be falling down around your ears. Well, what you're left with is not going to be your dream home. Get things right.
Hey man, you just made a really good point. When they say it's up, when they say it's up to code, can I see the code? And I'm going to share. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what code are they looking at, and what do they consider code? Is it a realistic code? Is it the real code for where you're at, or is some code that they themselves have made up? Because it sounds like that is their consistent thing, is we're up to code. What code?
Yeah, so I'll share a quick story with you. We bought a house in Florida. I don't know, I guess that would have been 2001, if something, 2000. And I finally figured out that a whole quarter of the house was really hot. And you can't see it from the attic, but that area of the house, but that entire front area of the house was not insulated. And I finally went to the city and raised it to the city about, is it legal or is it within code to have absolutely no insulation in 25% of the house? Took about an hour, maybe 2 hours max, before there was an insulation truck in front of my house. And the city manager in Coconut Creek, Florida, showed up with a book of code, and he showed up and went and interrupted the superintendent meeting with another homeowner and told him to get his tail over to my house. And we're going to review the code with me, the homeowner, in front of this because of their negligence. And the other side of it was the city manager was, hey, we are at fault too, because we missed it during our inspection as the inspector from the city.
Mhm.
Anyway, we'll leave it on the note of, guys, don't hesitate to call them out. If they say it's code, show me the code. If they don't show you, go to the city. Because the city, trust me, the city gets this shit from complaints of citizens over and over. And generally the city really wants to help. And it's not a lot of hard work for them to do it. All right, let's roll on here. It's your turn, Dan. Where are we going? Ryan? Oh, go ahead.
Well, here's where we're going. I never knew what a lanai was before today. So I've learned something. You don't, now, and as I look at them, that's not a thing in New England.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it would be, because a lanai usually follows the big sliding glass doors that you open all the way. You have that wall, and it's a beautiful life from like the 1st of December to like the 1st of March.
1st of December? Yeah. It would not be a thing in Maine. You would be sitting there watching snow pile up. That would be useless.
All right. So for the folks on the line or in the audience that don't know what a lanai is, generally speaking, it's a big screened in area over your pool or part of your backyard that hooks to your house. And a lot of times in Florida, it'll be over your pool. And then one wall of your house has probably 3 or 4 sliding glass doors that you can totally open up. And it is very beautiful or very nice from like December 1st to the 1st of March. Not that you can't do it other times of the year, but that's what it is. It's a big greened in area open. Over to you, Dan. Get us started.
All right. So from Ryan O on May 30th of this year. Bought my home in November 2023. I've had nothing but issues with the superintendent and the warranty team. First, we had an inspection scheduled before closing, and upon arrival, the home was not completed for the inspection to take place. The mechanical and electrical was not yet complete, and we had to reschedule a week later for inspection. Not only did my wife and I have to take time off work, but we were also charged a $50 fee. After inspection and the report was handed off, we came up with a plan with the superintendent to fix the remaining items on the punch list prior to moving in. They fixed one item of the 14 in 7 days and kept apologizing for dropping the ball. Then we made another plan to get our punch list completed. It is about to be expletive deleted, and we've made little progress on our punch list. We've asked the super multiple times, but have not been provided a response. Submitted to the warranty team. A woman showed up, seemed to document nothing, and then left saying they would start working on this. Been 3 months, no follow-up communication. Sent multiple emails, haven't received a single response. Here's the line that really hits. My wife and I are expecting our first child around the end of our warranty period and need to address the concerns immediately. I also like the closing line that the person uses. As someone who works in construction project management, lawyers would be involved by now if someone failed to fix mistakes this long and didn't communicate. The person calls out multiple impacts to their monetary situation. They had to take time off from work, both he and his wife, for the inspection. They were charged a $50 fee on top of it, and now they are also expecting a child with the warranty period ending, a whole bunch of things unresolved. This is going to hit them in their pocket because they are probably going to be covering a lot of these if they want to get things in ship shape before that child arrives. And as they clearly state, in most situations, this would already be a legal matter, but here they are trying to work with the warranty team that are simply getting them nowhere, and it's costing them money at this point. When it comes to a child being brought into this situation, it's going to hit a lot of people in a certain way, as it should. It's the money you're talking about here. People, this is their homes. This is something that many of them saved up for their lives. And this is their first child. This is supposed to be something you're supposed to have memories from. Now their memories are going to be a bunch of shit of dealing with the house that really is not complete. Teddy's reading down through with frustration.
No, I was trying to find the one sentence to make sure before I commented. What they did well here was they had an inspection, and it looks like it was before closing. But like the other article, tweet this, Dan. The other article, essentially they got a punch list out of there, but they still went to closing. That's
Agreed.
the key. Do not go to closing.
Agreed.
So I hate
in
to-
this case, they didn't call it out specifically, but it's clear that they closed and moved in.
Yeah, my comment's going to be the same. This is a super big company. At the end of the day, they don't care. Big companies don't care. It's that simple. And all you can do is walk down their process. And the only way you can protect yourself is an inspection, and do not go to closing till all that stuff's taken care of. If you put yourself in a position where you are buying and selling and all that other stuff, and you got to get out of your apartment, but at closing and you made it that tight, that's on you. And I'm just telling you from experience, don't do that. Don't put yourself in a position that you absolutely have to go to closing, because that is your mistake. And especially when you can listen to us, I'm sure we're gonna have people on the show that would love to tell their DRhorton story. But guys, there's thousands of these reviews out there. All right, Dan, get me off my soapbox. Ready to go to the next one?
Yeah, let's rock on.
All right, I got one last one, and then I'm getting the. I need to get going, to be honest with you, but I'll gonna hit this one. Frankie, it's a short one. This is another one, same kind of thing. I closed on my property on April 18th, 2024, less than a month today. All right, so this was on May 16th. I forgot that part. So it's a month into his buying experience. The owners of the DRhorton may not even be aware of what some customers like me are facing. The fence in the backyard is pulling apart. Very strong, pungent, smelly, contaminated water from all faucets in the house. At closing, they promised to take care of it, but did not. This is part of the reason I have not moved in yet. It's rehash. It's a month later, haven't moved in yet. It is impossible to live without good water. I got someone to fix it 2 days ago because I came here hoping the issue below will be resolved and could not do without water. Been here for a few days and no one has showed up. It was about 2 weeks after my closing that they realized that a whole section of my house was not insulated. Oh my God, I think I already talked about that. This was only started on May 3rd. Microwave's not working. Some sockets in the living room, kitchen area worked intermittently. Some do not work at all. The light in the master bedroom, toilet, back porch, laundry room, the smallest closet facing the game room is not coming on. Whoa, I think it sounds like the other article. A bunch of bunch of lights aren't working. The control panel light for the home security system is not coming on. The doorbell light is not coming on. I am unable to open the garage door using the switch. Am I reading the same damn article from before? It sounds like.
No,
Anyway. Oh,
But
you know
they-
what?
probably
We read
similar.
this article before we went
did.
on camera. That's why. Sorry. All right, I'm back. I had a chat with the building superintendent called and he said all these is as a result of a force of nature. Paused. All of that is because of force of nature. A month into owning the house and I'm having an electrical problem. That's a force of nature, which is not covered by my warranty, and that he can connect me to an electrician on the side. I can pay cash under the table to have the work done at my expense, and that he can provide only the microwave, which has not been provided till date. Okay. Today I spoke with the director of customer warranty called La, who showed total disregard for my concerns. I told him I felt with my concerns were not valid as a customer and that I have no choice than to get representation. And he really rudely told me to go to court if I like. I have more concerns, but the word count does not permit me. No, okay. There is a pattern of misconduct. God, it's the same thing, guys. I'm not going to repeat myself. Dan, over to you.
One of the things that you have to see the article, the comment to get is, I commented to Teddy when we were looking these over, I had copy pasted these into a Word document so he wouldn't see me scrolling through. And he quite literally says, I have more concerns, but the word count does not permit me. There is a pattern of misconduct. Now, that in itself is a sentence. But here it's not typed as a sentence. It literally stops with no punctuation. Frank E. had more to say and quite literally ran out of space in the Better Business Bureau comments field to be able to add more. This is absolute insanity what the person's dealing with. And again, the person closed on this house with all these issues. They closed and didn't move in, but they still closed on it. Now, I guess I give them credit for not moving in. You can't move in if you've got smelly water and everything else wrong. But don't close on the house. If all these issues are going on, you don't need to accept it. This is not your problem until you close on it. Because clearly, the manufacturer is not going to see it as their problem. DRhorton is not addressing the issues. They just keep pushing it off or dealing with things onesie-twosies if they find something that's easy to fix and for relatively little. But problems of this level, simply not getting corrected. My guess is they keep pushing this off. And if the person is smart, it becomes a legal issue. Granted, they're already being told, take it to court if you want to. So clearly, the person they spoke to has already heard these complaints before, because that sounds like the kind of response the customer service gets when they just can't take anymore listening to this kind of crap. Just saying.
We're going to remind all of us here. This is after the dude was in his house all month, and they're not addressing this stuff. That's what I think goes on here. Each home builder has their own region and then their crews or their local staff in each city. And I think that they are paid big bonuses from everybody. From the superintendent's probably paid a fairly good bonus, but the manager of the soups gets paid probably 30 to 40% of his or her salary. And they're just taught to just keep a can on this. And so they're all motivated to just try to keep it down. So at the end of the day, you can use the WTH show. We're willing to reach out to some of the local people for DRhorton if you have a story. And sorry, Dan, I've already transitioned to closing thought. How about I close it with closing thought?
Well, it's given this off camera.
You already knew that when I went like this. Anyways, for closing thoughts, guys, we're always looking to do interviews, especially in this area, because we really feel for you. I feel for you or appreciate what you're going through, because I've been in that position multiple times. Again, our show is about a place to vent, place to get advice. In this case, I can definitely give you some advice. We can invite an attorney on the show if you'd like to get other advice. And then after we do some of that, we'll let you know if we think we can have a positive impact here by calling or being involved in your frustration by reaching out to DRhorton. We're willing to do that. Dan, what are your thoughts?
I can't say I have any of the history with any of what's going on here. And DRhorton is not in my state. But that said, I've always pictured people looking at their dream home thinking that that's the end all. And to get into a situation some of these people are in, and you start thinking of the sheer money they've spent to get into a house that's simply unlivable, I cannot wrap my head around it. And I absolutely feel for them. So I would love to hear some of these stories from people firsthand. Let them vent a little bit, let them share, because they're not alone. It's pretty clear if you look at the list on the Better Business Bureau alone, there's hundreds and hundreds of people. So get on here, vent. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to help you through it.
And to add to that, we're just looking at BBB, consumer.com, and then what's the other one? Consumeraffairs.com. There's tons of these stories over and over. So And then there's some videos actually out there on Piss Consumer that's tied into the posting. So with that said, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, provide some comments, etc. If you want to be on the show, certainly go to WTHshow.com, click on the big red button to start here, and give us some of your information and we'll reach out to you. On other matters, feel free to send us an email at info@WTHshow.com, and usually we'll get back to you within a day. Alrighty, guys, I appreciate your time, or we do, and you guys have a good night. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.